Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I am wonderful. How are you doing?
Fabulous. I'm excited to chat with my guest today. We're going to be talking to a guy by the name of DougGreen, and we're going to be talking about his book, and his book is about his puppy dog. And the reason we're talking to him is because May is National Pet Month. Did you know that?
I do now.
Now you know. National Pet Month. Celebrate some time with your pets this month. Make your boss a cup of coffee as well. You know why?
Why?
A study showed that by just holding some hot liquid, he or she will see you as a warmer person. So make your boss a cup of coffee.
Aha.
Or hot tea. Or just dump a bunch of boiling water on them.
So you're gonna go get me some coffee?
Wait, you saying you're my boss? You ain't the boss of me.
I'm the boss of you.
Yeah, you are the boss of me. Would you like cream in it or not, Heidi? One other quick thing. A Boston teenager is suing the Department of Education, claiming that the reason his grades are bad and everything except sports is that the school system is biased against males.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That's the problem.
Only if all the other males in that school are failing.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
They're just biased against that particular male. You're only mad at me because I don't do my homework. Come on. All right. We've got a lot of special things happening today. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, May the 19th. Today is May Ray Day.
May Ray Day.
May Ray Day. Yeah, it's kind of like May Day, but Ray right there in the middle. I don't know what it is. It is Boys Club Day, Hummus Day. We were just at your brother and sister-in-law's house, and they had some hummus. I didn't try it.
Hummus. Yeah, it was
hummus chips and hummus dip.
Nasty. I love my brother, but I don't know.
You said, did you lose a bet or what? What happened here? So today's the day to celebrate if you like hummus. I didn't try it, so it may be delicious. I just, no thanks. World Autoimmune Arthritis Day today, National Scooter Day, and National Hepatitis Testing Day. Heidi, have you been tested for hepatitis?
No, I have
Nor
not.
have I. We could both be standing here with hepatitis.
We could.
We should go get tested today.
Probably not.
How do you know if you have hepatitis?
You'll get tested.
Oh, well, today's the day to do it. On National Hepatitis Testing Day. And you could go there on your scooter and enjoy some hummus along the way. Then you're really celebrating on this Thursday, the 19th day of May.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. How's this for love and compassion, Heidi? An English law firm had an employee of the firm commit suicide, and instead of sending his wife flowers and a sympathy card, they sent her a bill for $10,000.
Oh.
The charges stem from, quote, settling his affairs at the office, the cost of his visitation, the cost of visiting his home in order to determine why he hadn't shown up for work, and the cost of telling his mother that her son had died, end quote. That's seriously a $10,000 bill from an English law firm.
Yikes.
When one of their employees killed himself. The English press have pressed this law firm, and they have since dropped these ridiculous
I would hope
charges
so.
because it's not helping them at all. So they're like, yeah, well, we're gonna just waive all those fees.
Wow.
So that's not nice.
No. Not at
Yeah,
all.
his wife got a bill, instead of flowers and a sympathy card, a bill for $10,000. Can you even imagine? She's already going through enough. She just lost her husband. And it's probably because he worked at this terrible place.
Probably.
I mean, that doesn't sound like the kind of a work environment that would just breed wonderful, happy employees. So, I don't know. That's just a really sad thing. And it's, suicide is never anything to joke about. I'm really sad to hear that he did that. And I'm not trying to make light of that at all because it's a terrible, terrible thing. But, again, for them to say the right thing to do now is to send his wife a $10,000 bill, really? Mm-hmm. In what world does that make sense? I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. But it happened, and you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. Remember back in the day, there was a place that said, "Where's the beef?"
Yeah.
I used to like those. That was back when Dave Thomas was still around, and it was Wendy's, their campaign. Well, there was somebody recently at a completely different fast food chain saying, "Where's my lettuce?" Instead of lettuce, they got marijuana.
Oh,
It was at a
boy.
Burger King in New Mexico.
Oh, boy.
2 police officers were eating their burgers until one of them realized something doesn't taste right. He looked at it, and instead of leafy green lettuce, it had marijuana.
So was it an employee that was trying to be funny, or what was going on there, do you suppose?
I'm looking at the story here. Officials say the officers began acting odd. 3 Burger King employees were arrested and charged with possession of marijuana
Good
and
Lord.
aggravated battery on an officer, which is a felony. So they did this on purpose.
Yeah, well, of course they did it on purpose. You know it was done on purpose.
So they were in the kitchen watching, going, "Okay, he's taking a bite. Take a look. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, hey, they're taking us to jail?
Not
Why?"
good.
Kids, that's the kind of thing you do when your brain
Yep.
is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Heidi, do video games really influence the people who play video games? Do you think?
I believe that they do. Yeah.
I think they do, and this story probably proves that point pretty well. A suspect led police on a high-speed chase through several towns and then told investigators he was afraid to go back to jail, and he'd become convinced by his skill at video games that he could outrun the law. 2 girls who were in the car with him said they were terrified and yelled at him to stop. He finally slowed down and let them jump out. Then he sped off.
Wow.
Tyrone D. McMillan told
What a
police...
gentleman.
Yeah, slow down
Jump.
for you. Told the police, "I was crazy. I was playing video games, lots of Grand Theft Auto and NASCAR. I thought I could get away." End quote. Mm-hmm. So apparently, these video games do influence at least
Yeah,
this guy. So,
You know, I hate to sound like one of those people.
one of those people.
But-
What people?
Oh, that
You crazy kids in your video
blame people's
games?
bad decisions on other things other than themselves.
The
But-
decision was his decision.
Yeah, it was
So,
absolutely his decision.
Yeah.
But when you spend, and some of these people
a lot of hours. Yeah, playing
all
video games.
day,
Immersed in
every
it.
day, and don't even sleep.
Yeah.
So you know,
Fueled
you
by
do
energy
that
drinks.
long enough.
I've seen it done. So
Yeah.
anyway, that happened, and the kid got arrested. So he got to go back to jail after all. We've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. Nice police officer blurs face of sheep. That's the headline.
What?
Sheep, privacy matters, Heidi. At least that's what some police in England thought. The West Midland Police Force jokingly blurred out the faces of a group
Oh,
of...
jokingly.
Yeah, blurred out the faces of a group of stolen sheep found in the back of a truck.
Oh, funny.
In a description with the blurred photo, the police wrote, "Sheep rustling suspects behind bars after police chase." I thought that's funny. I'm going to throw an image of that on our Facebook page if you want to see it. And that is at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. A new study finds that people with the largest number of close friends have the greatest degree of pain tolerance. So if you got a whole lot of friends, you can take a lot of pain. And maybe you need to if you have that many friends, because they keep letting you down and stuff. Hey, it says here, in a survey, more than half of the teens questioned said they feel addicted to their mobile phones, Heidi.
Yeah.
They're not alone. Around 27% of mamas and papas also. The parents admitted to struggling to put the phone down as well. Do you think you're addicted as you just looked at your phone while we were talking about
Yes.
this?
Well, I noticed that I had received a text.
Oh,
so.
I see. I thought maybe you were just trying to prove this story true. Kit Kat. We talked about them the other day because some girl's suing them because she got a waferless Kit Kat. Well, now they're back in the news. Guess why?
Why?
Probably the most bizarre chocolate snack ever. Melon and cheese flavored Kit Kats.
Ew.
Being sold at airports in Japan currently.
Wow.
So if you want one, you got to fly to Japan. But who would want one?
No, that's
Melon and
disgusting.
cheese flavored Kit Kats? Whose idea was that?
It wasn't a good idea.
It wasn't. Yeah, it's a terrible idea. All right, let's talk about a Germany couple. A couple from, it says in Germany. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. In Germany, a couple of guys were pulled over on a routine traffic stop. When an officer asked them where they were going, one of them jokingly said, "We're on our way to rob a bank." And they all kind of chuckle. He was joking, but the suspicious officer decided to run the guy's name through the law enforcement computers. Guess what? He was wanted on a 5-year-old shoplifting charge.
Wow.
Joke was on you. So where are you guys going? We're going to rob a bank. Well, look at this, sir. You are actually wanted by the law. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dennis O'Leary held up a bank. He made a clean getaway, stuffing the cash in his front pockets and fleeing on foot. He hadn't gotten very far, though, when he started to attract quite a bit of attention, or at least his pants did. They were smoking with red smoke. You guessed it, the dye packs in the money exploded. There was enough red smoke billowing from his pants that a couple of maintenance guys became suspicious. They grabbed him as he ran by. They detained him until the police showed up. So the guy's pants burst with the dye packs. I've seen those on TV and on movies. I didn't know that was a real thing, but apparently it is. They're always blue on TV, aren't they?
I have no
This one
idea.
was red.
Yeah, I've seen them red
Mount Kiss, like in real life or on TV?
on TV.
You've never seen them in real life, have you?
No.
I've never seen one in real life.
No, I haven't.
I'm not going to rob a bank to see one either. Just not going to do that. Mount Kisco, New York. A parking meter attendant is accused of stealing more than $30,000 from the meters, 1 quarter at a time.
Oh my gosh.
Could be sentenced to spend up to 7 years in prison. $30,000, 1 quarter at a time. So 30,000 times 4, that would be 1.2 million quarters he stole. If
How
my
would they
super
know
quick math.
for sure that this person stole that many exactly?
I don't know. Maybe, I have no idea. They probably caught him. I have no clue.
Well, they might have caught him, but
No,
how would they
just
be able to say?
calculated it and said, okay, well, we caught you with this many quarters today, and you started back on this day. So if you stole this many quarters every day, that would be $30,000 worth of quarters.
What if that was only his first day?
Well, he maybe shouldn't have gotten caught.
Well, he shouldn't have been
stealing
doing it in the
stuff.
first place.
Yeah,
But
if you don't do anything wrong, you don't have to worry about getting caught. See, that's what I mean. All right, you ready for a strange law?
yes.
Frightening a baby is a violation in Mole, Missouri. That's against the law. Frightening a baby. If you scare a baby,
Okay.
you're in trouble. I probably couldn't go there either. There was another place that had that same law.
A lot of babies just don't care for you.
I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because I like them too much. I'm like, oh, it's a baby. Can I hold your baby? And the baby's like, whoa, keep that freak away from me. Is that fat guy going to eat me or what? Mom, don't hand me over to him. All right, that's your strange law. This has been your scoop of the day.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. We've got a special guest joining us right now, and I like this. First of all, I got to tell you the name of his book. It's The Teachings of Shirelle, Life Lessons from a Divine Knucklehead. So I already like this guy because I'm a knucklehead too. But also, he is a self-proclaimed crazy dog guy. We have DougGreen with us. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing great, John. How are you today?
Fantastic. Now, you're a crazy dog guy. First of all, let's talk about, since this month, May, is National Pet Month, how many dogs do you have? Because when you say crazy dog guy, I'm assuming hundreds of dogs? Probably not, right?
Oh, all it takes is one. All it takes is one. And I'm just kind of owning up to it here because, we've heard about the crazy cat ladies for years.
Oh, yeah.
And, the woman, or you're starting to hear more about the crazy cat guys, but, the person who's either they've got 18 cats in their house or they're just so obsessed with their cat they can't leave the house. They can't do anything. And I'm kind of owning up to the fact that really us dog people have to admit we got our crazy stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
And we, fall madly in love with our dogs and they kind of determine our lives to a large degree. And so just this piece I wrote about that was just saying, again, let's admit this and let's talk about it. And if you are a crazy dog person or a crazy cat person, what in the world can you do on a date?
Yeah.
Like, how can you keep from blowing it
Yeah.
by having this obsession?
So while you're sitting there on your first date, you're saying, so I want to show you photos of all of my dogs.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Or,
Red flags.
Or to show you 50 photos of my one.
Yeah, exactly.
either one is going to be a turnoff.
Well, and I'll tell you, for us crazy dog people, because I'm a crazy dog person as well. We've got 2 dogs, and I love my dogs. Mandy and Miley, love them dearly. And I got to tell you, I'm also that, tough guy. So when they came home, my wife was saying, hey, well, look, we're going to get this dog, and it's a poodle crossed with a chihuahua. I'm like, whatever. Why are we getting this thing? I probably love that dog more than anybody in our house. And then we got her sister, who's a poodle crossed with something else. I don't remember what it is. I don't know, longer hair. Anyway, adorable little dog. And these 2 dogs, I snuggle with them all the time. I love them. So if I just lost man points by admitting that I love snuggling with little tiny dogs, I guess I lost them. But I absolutely love those little dogs.
I've seen this story over and over, and it's not unlike, what happens if the baby comes home from the hospital and you can say, that's really an ugly baby. You know what? You're going to be in love within 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to be in love the rest of your life with that kid.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Of you come in with your, it's a harsh word to use, but I'll say prejudice against certain breeds, and I'm with you. I'm a big dog, I can wrestle on the floor kind of guy, and then you get that little Maltese who just is great. And you say, you know what? You're awesome.
Yeah. And that's what our other dog is, poodle crossed with Maltese. So I'm glad you said Maltese. That's what she is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Tiny dog crossed with tiny dogs.
Oh, they're just perfect for your wife to put in the purse.
Yeah.
And you say, that's not a dog, but you know what? Deep down they are.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just have that same crazy relationship.
And now the type of dog you have is what kind of dog?
She's gone now, but Shirelle was a husky mix. She was from the town, never knew what the rest of her was. Some people thought collie, some people thought Ridgeback, some people thought Saluki, and I never did the DNA tests or anything. She just...
You loved her no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
So now the book, The Teachings of Shirelle, Life Lessons from a Divine Knucklehead, what was the inspiration and how did you get started on this, Doug?
It was after she was gone, and I was struck. I work as a psychotherapist in my day job, and she had been a co-therapist of mine for last year or 2 of her life, and then I found that even after she was gone, I would keep talking about her with clients and the wisdom that I'd learned from her. And she's the knucklehead I'm talking about in the title. She was, the goofiest thing I've ever known, but taught me more timeless wisdom, more real wisdom about living life than anybody I've ever known. And so I kept using that in my practice, and eventually it hit me, I need to write this down.
Yeah.
Because this is actually, the greatest story I've got to tell. And it took a couple of years, but got it down, and, now it's been quite loved by those who've read it, and it's funny, and it makes you cry, and it's got this wisdom in it of, again, how to live your life. From somebody who didn't know not to walk in front of moving cars.
There you go. That's good advice. I see the website askshirelle.com. I clicked on that as we're talking here, and there's like a little animated version of Shirelle. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry to hear that she's gone. That's sad. But what are some of the lessons, other than stepping out in front of cars, what are some of the lessons that you've learned?
Well, I'm saying I already knew not to walk in front of moving cars.
Okay, good. What are some of the things that you did learn then?
Yeah, no, there was a lot. The power of the connection between a human and their canine companion, it was a huge thing. It got to the degree where if one of us got sick, the other one would have symptoms. The way that dogs treat every moment as new. They have their smaller brains, and so they can't think about the past and the future the way we can. But the example I'd love to throw out is that when you walk out in the morning, when you walk out of your home, I can only imagine what time you and Heidi walk out in the morning. but what do you first experience when you walk outside? I think most of us experience, it's too cold or it's too hot, and I'm running late, and let me get out of here, let me make sure, do I have my phone, and get in the car, and get up there, and then start cussing out the traffic, and that's the beginning of our day. And if you open the door and let your dog out, what it's going to do, it's going to run outside, and it's going to stop for a second. And that nose is going to go crazy, trying to check everything out. The ears are going to be bouncing around. The eyes are going to be scanning the yard. And it's like, what's out there? What is this day? What do I smell? What do I hear? What's exciting? What's the most exciting thing in front of me right now? And if we can do that, and it only takes a second, but you might walk out and say, hey, that flower bloomed. Hey, that's a beautiful sunrise. Hey, it's, there's a baby crying across the street. Whatever it is, that's going to change your morning.
Yeah.
And that's going to change your whole day. Now, the drivers on the road will still be as bad, and you still have just as much right to cuss them out. but you will be coming from a different place. And boy, stop me when you need to stop me. But I'll say another thing. I'll say parents will always say their greatest wish in life is to give their children what they hadn't been given.
Yeah.
And it's tough. We hear so much about the rough economy of the last decade or two, and that the parents are having trouble being able to do that.
Yeah.
And it's really killing the dreams. And I will say, you still can do that. Parents still can do that by working, even if they aren't financially better off than their parents, by looking at themselves, and again, this is the focus of the book, but looking at themselves, seeing where they have internalized shame, which dogs don't have at all,
Yeah.
and working on that to give their kids a life with more self-esteem and a better sense of themselves than the parents had. And I don't mean by that spoiling the kids or telling them, hey, that's great, you got a D. I'm not pushing that, but saying real self-esteem, really feeling like you're a worthy, good being, which, of course, every dog thinks it is. So why in the world shouldn't we?
Absolutely. Again, the name of the book, it's a very fun title. It's called The Teachings of Shirelle, Life Lessons from a Divine Knucklehead. And you had to blow it and tell me the knucklehead was the dog, because I thought that might have been you, because then, I'm a knucklehead too. But
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not crediting myself as divine or a knucklehead. She's higher than me on both planes.
Well, and you're a psychotherapist, which is pretty darn cool. So I don't know that I've ever spoken with a psychotherapist. I've spoken with psychos, I've spoken with therapists, but never all at once. That's not what a psychotherapist is?
We're the worst. We're the very worst.
Well, Doug, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk about this. Where can I find a copy of your book?
It's in some bookstores in Los Angeles, but right now that's the only place it's in stores. But you can get it on Barnes & Noble, you can get it on Amazon, a number of other sites. And if you're really nice and you get a copy and you ask me, maybe you can send it to me and I'll sign it for you.
That would be awesome. Well, again, Doug, thank you for chatting with us today, sir.
Okay, thank you, John. Thanks very much.
Definitely. Again, right there, Douglas Green, author of The Teachings of Shirelle, Life Lessons from a Divine Knucklehead. Shirelle was his puppy, and this is National Pet Month. So if you've got a puppy, you celebrate that puppy, or if you got a kitty, you celebrate the kitty cat as well. If you'd like to buy the book, it is available right now at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A black cow is a chocolate soda with chocolate ice cream. Did you know that?
I did.
The term dates from the Roaring '20s. There's another term for it, and it's called a mud fizz. I've never had a black cow. I'll have to try that sometime. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There is a doggy disco held in Italy every year where owners can dance with their dogs.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, but dogs do have two left feet.
Gosh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average bank robbery yields just $4,400 for the criminals. Is it really worth it then?
No.
I don't think so. Fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
When McDonald's opened their first restaurant in Kuwait in 1994, the drive-through line was 7 miles long. Now it only feels 7 miles long. I've never been to McDonald's that had a drive-through that went, even more than like 8 cars, so I can't imagine.
And if it does, you freak out.
Yeah, because you're like, well, I'm going to just go somewhere else. I'm not going to wait in that kind of line. Would you wait in a 7 mile long line?
No, I would
Who
not.
would do that? Not this guy. All right, that's a couple of fun facts for you. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know the John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that'll help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Are you getting the rest you need? If you're not, you
No.
might have sleep apnea. We were just both talking about how awful our sleep was last night. And I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was
I
terrible.
don't know why. I couldn't sleep worth a hoot. And you were on the other side of the bed. You couldn't sleep. I didn't know you were awake or I would have chatted with you. I finally rolled over in the middle of the night and I saw you were on your phone. I was like, what are you doing up? You're like, I don't know. I can't sleep. I was like, me neither. Maybe I should have been talking to you this whole time. Anyway, we're married, by the way. So if you're wondering why we're sharing a bed, that's why. Anyway, people with breathing problems that disrupt their sleep are less tired after 3 weeks of treatment with a breathing device compared to those who go on untreated or those who were treated with a placebo. U.S. researchers are the ones working on this. The findings show that regular use of treatment with continuous positive airway pressure, that's what the CPAP stands for, reduces fatigue caused by obstructive sleep apnea, a chronic disease that affects 12 million Americans. Sleep apnea raises, I can't read today.
Well, we are tired today.
I know. Sleep
so-
apnea raises the risk of high blood pressure, heart attack and stroke, irregular heartbeat, and diabetes. It occurs often when soft tissue at the back of the throat collapses during sleep, blocking the airway and causing the brain to rouse the sleeper, who then gasps for air, a cycle that can occur as many as 30 times in 1 hour. So if you have sleep apnea, that's what's going on. I had no clue that's what was going on.
Yeah.
Really?
But we have a friend that has one of those machines, and I asked her if she feels
More
less
rested?
tired and if she's sleeping better, and she said she hasn't noticed a difference. So
Well, if you have one and it's working for you, that's awesome. If you don't have one and you're not using it, I guess that's up to you as well. But there you go. They're saying if you have sleep apnea, that might be the reason you're so doggone tired. So coming up here in a bit, going to talk about, what is this? A story? I have no idea. We've got something on the way. I'm going to pre-read this first.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
I was a bit confused when I read this headline. After reading the story, it makes sense. It says, if it's not time for you to be taken to heaven, you're just not going. Does that
Okay.
headline sound kind of interesting to you?
sure.
If you're looking for proof that God has an ultimate plan for your life, maybe give a listen to this story. A Miami woman tried to commit suicide, her second attempt in 3 days, this time plunging 14 stories from a high rise. She said, you know what, I'm finally going to just do it this way. I'm going to get it over with. Well, she landed on her tush, and she got back up on her feet and walked away. A Honda CR-V cushioned her fall. The impact shattered the car's windows and crushed its roof, but the woman sustained only a broken arm.
Jeez.
Yeah. So she was, 3 times, no, second time rather, in 3 days. And she's saying, well, maybe I'm supposed to be alive.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
I would say so.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it, that she would do that. She jumped off of a building.
Huh.
Jumped off a building, 14 stories from a high rise.
Crazy. That's crazy.
And she just got up and walked away with a broken arm. That is nuts. Anyway, there you go. Coming up, going to talk about artificial sweeteners. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Artificial sweeteners might not be doing us any favors. If you're trying to lose a few pounds and you say, I'm going to quit drinking soda, I'm going to start drinking diet soda. Well, that might not be good. It says, swapping a can of Coke for Coke Zero slices 139 calories from your daily intake, but researchers from the University of Liverpool in England suggest your body processes artificial calorie-free sweeteners the same way it does regular. So the jury is still out on artificial sweeteners, as a recent study found that they may help prevent weight gain. So while science continues to debate, some saying, oh, it's good for you. Others saying, no, it's not. They say just cut back on sugar and sweeteners altogether. Everything in moderation is the real key to weight loss. So they're saying, it's not probably as good for you as you think, but maybe it's not as bad for you either. It all depends on who's doing the study, I think.
Right.
Because I think we tend to find what we're looking for in these studies. If they're trying to prove their point, they're going to prove their point. You can stack up the evidence to prove whatever it is you want to prove. So either way, like I said, right now they're saying the jury is still out on this. Best thing to do is say, hey, you know what, I'm going to just cut back on all of it, and maybe I'll just drink water. Then somebody will tell me that's bad for me, too. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
Dean Wilson is wondering, what in the world is it going to take for me to go to jail? The 20-year-old was released from a Liverpool jail on a condition that he wear an ankle bracelet, a little electronic tagging device. Wilson only became frustrated wearing the device and said he would rather just spend the remaining time behind bars. The problem was, the jail didn't want him back. When he returned to prison, they turned him away. And then he went to the police station. They said, I have no record that you are unlawfully at large. You need to just go home. Finally, after almost 3 weeks, the police decided to take him back into custody. He's finally back into the prison that he wanted to be there in Liverpool. So, yeah, he didn't like the ankle bracelet. He's 20 years old, and he's already conditioned to like prison more than freedom. That is kind of scary.
That is a little scary.
Now, I'm not going to claim by any means that this is based on a true story, because I know it's not, but I remember watching the movie Shawshank Redemption, which I love that movie. That's a Stephen King movie, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I think it is. I'm going to be speaking with his son later. I think it's next week.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool. I'm excited to chat with him. Anyway, the Stephen, I don't know, maybe it's not a Stephen King. Maybe I'm nuts. I'm thinking the Green Mile might be the Stephen King. Either way. My point remains.
I digress.
My point remains. Everybody's yelling at their radios right now. I didn't mean anything about that. What I meant to say was, in the movie Shawshank Redemption, there was a guy who got out of prison, and he didn't like being out of prison, and he said, I was thinking of killing somebody so I could go back, because he didn't want to be free, and then he hung himself in the little boarding house. And it's really sad to think about that, but there are people who, they go to prison, and they're there, and they're so used to that when they do have freedom, like this young man, Dean Wilson, over in Liverpool, he wanted to go back to jail. He's like, I don't want this stupid ankle bracelet. I don't want to be out here. This isn't freedom. So it's kind of scary. Anyway, coming up, we've got some good news. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to end this program with some positive news, something good, and I think this is kind of a good news story here. A Seda Living store in Manchester, England. We've had a lot of stories from England today, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
It's like the whole internet is all pointing to England for some reason right now. Anyway, the Asada Living Store in Manchester, England will be turning off their loudspeakers and their escalators and their in-store music and their display TVs for an hour every day. And it's not to save a little money on their electric bill. The British store is designating an hour a day as quiet hour, where shoppers with autism can peruse their shelves.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, without any anxiety. They say that they've heard from several people with autism, and they can be very sensitive to loud noises, and they were having trouble cutting out background noise, causing severe stress. And store manager Simon Lee saw an autistic boy struggling to cope with an in-store noise, and they decided, you know what? We should do something about that.
That's nice.
And the result was each day they're going to have 1 hour that's a quiet hour, and they're saying, hey, this is a way to cater to this crowd that nobody's really catering to.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool
is
idea.
really nice.
And it's not going to, I can't imagine anybody else saying, what a
it's
terrible,
too quiet in here. I'm not coming into the store.
what a
during
terrible
that
place
hour.
to be. I can't
Yeah.
do this. You know, it's not like you're
You
hurting.
would.
No, me?
Oh my gosh,
No.
you hate
No.
quiet.
But there would be enough other noises. I don't like quietness at our house. We'll be sitting
I
at home.
love it when it's quiet.
I'll walk in our house. This has literally happened on more than one occasion. I've walked into our home, and Heidi's sitting on the sofa, not watching TV, not listening to the radio, not even on her phone, just staring. I was like, what you doing? She's like, nothing. I was like, I've never seen anybody do nothing before, but you really are doing nothing. I'm like, this is driving me crazy.
Just enjoying the silence and thinking.
Soaking in the silence. She's like, I knew you'd be home soon and start making a bunch of noise. So I just couldn't do that. Anyway, hats off to a Asada Living Store in Manchester, England. That's a really cool thing. I'm going to show I'm going to throw a link to that on our Facebook page. So if you'd like to read more, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
And your bonus break is brought to you by our good friends at WinThisOnline.com, where the winning is just the beginning. Go check it out. Win some cool swag. And I'll tell you what, if you go over there and sign up today to win, you've got some really good odds of winning stuff because there are several items on there that we have very few people signed up for. And this is really good stuff. So get signed up and become a winner. I would love to see some winners outside of the town that we live in. We've been using WinThisOnline.com here for, 3 years? 2 years?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it's brand new in other parts of the country, but it's been here for a long, long time. And I'm telling you, I'd love to see some winners from other markets. So if you live elsewhere, please sign up. It's free. This isn't some big scary thing. It's a very simple thing, and it's a cool little program. WinThisOnline.com. About 70% of cell phone owners have used their devices in the last month to gather real-time info like traffic alerts or look up sports scores. A survey from Pew, Internet, and American Life Project says smartphones are turning more people into real-time information seekers and problem solvers. We use our phones all the time for problem solving, like who sings whatever the song is.
Yeah.
Or what other movie was this person in?
Right.
So-
That's what you look up most of the time,
we do all the
honestly.
time. We're watching the movie and we're like, oh, what else was she in? I'm like, I don't know. And then say cast of whatever. And then because I talk into my phone, the little microphone, and then I'll say, oh, her name is this. Then I'll search it. And I'm like, we knew her from this movie.
There you go.
She was in Cat in the Hat or whatever it was.
Cat in the Hat.
I don't know. I'm just thinking. Deputies in Orange County, Florida, pursued a bagel truck across 3 counties after a woman jumped in it and took off early Wednesday.
Yikes.
The bagel truck driver left the keys in the truck when he was
Making a
and the thing
delivery?
was running. No, he was taking a break in a store.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
think
smart.
we talked about this. The truck was filled with $5,000 worth of bagels and croissants and breakfast pastries. Did we talk about that?
I have no idea.
Oh, maybe I just... See, I've been pre-reading things, and I can't remember if we talked about it or if I pre-read it. One of the most common dreams in the world is falling. And it's where a person is, like, falling, and it can mean the dreamer is in fear of losing respect or status or in financial difficulty or fading physically with vitality or losing someone's love. If you land and awake suddenly, it is literally a wake-up call to attend to these matters in the physical world. So they're saying if you have these dreams where you're falling, and when you wake up and you jolt yourself awake, they're saying whatever's going on in your life, you're supposed to use that as a wake-up call
I
to
have
get it
never
all fixed.
landed in my dreams. If I start to fall, I wake up when I start to fall. I've never seen myself land
Never?
in a falling dream. Have you?
I don't know. I've never seen you land in my falling dreams. Oh, you
All
mean
those
me?
times you pushed me off a building?
I was like, look at her fall. Then I wake up and go, oh, wait, that was just a dream. She's still sleeping next to me. No,
Jeez.
I've never dreamt that ever. I can only say that because everybody knows I'm kidding. I'm head over heels in love with you. She's my wife, of course. Hey, a man from Kansas with a concealed weapons permit drove himself to the hospital after accidentally shooting himself in the foot during a high school graduation ceremony.
Oh,
Hey, If it gets you,
too bad.
if it gets you out of sitting through the graduation ceremony, I say do it.
Some
There
people
you go.
do anything.
Yeah. There you go. That's your bonus break, brought to you by WinThisOnline.com, where the winning is just the beginning. Get signed up today at WinThisOnline.com.